What is going on? In this live video, we're going to talk about the best strategy in cryptocurrency right now. I'm also going to help you kind of change your mindset around how to trade these assets, and then go over the actual best strategy in cryptocurrency there is, in my opinion, because a lot of people overcomplicate it. And when you try to get too complicated, you end up losing. So if you guys are not already following me, go follow me on Instagram. I post most of my updates there, and I give a lot of free value, mostly through Instagram stories. So stay up to date with, my posts on IG. You can follow me at Jeff Sekinger. My name is right on there. We're going to tell them right now to hop on this YouTube live. So before we jump in, let me know where you guys are from. Gary, where are you from, my man? Yeah, you loving this this ADA rip? I know. I'm not sure if you're in the group, but we run a cryptocurrency group with about 400 people in there, and I kept seeing ADA come up to 148, 149 and bounce, and that's historically been a huge point of resistance. So we ripped a leverage trade and made 150% in like 2 days. Where are you guys from? Another great stream. Yep, we're about to hop in here. So where are we at currently in the market? We've been ripping recently, which is great to see. Had a lot of healthy accumulation recently. Awesome, from Germany. Australia, I love Australia. I lived in Sydney for a few months. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go over some things, but first of all, just look at the market. Right now, we're actually at a 1.99 trillion market cap. Really, are we actually that high? That is a lot higher than I was thinking. So Bitcoin's still below $1 trillion in its market cap. I think it has the potential to hit 3 trillion this year. I'm still putting it around about 175K by the end, or not this year, by the end of the market cycle. Ethereum up 26% in the last 7 days. ADA majority was up, in the past 24 hours. It's been ripping. This is actually a little bit, I think, delayed. Maybe it's a little bit over 24 hours, but 31% in 7 days. XRP 41%, over $1 now. That is huge. A lot of the things in the case has been going their way, which is really exciting for not only XRP, but for crypto. If they stick it to the SEC, that is a really, really big deal, because they're going to continue to crack down on this. As you guys saw with this recent proposal, the governments are trying everything they possibly can do to slow down crypto, because they understand they're starting to realize how big of a deal it is and how it's going to change finance, money, securities, and pretty much the entire investment and finance world. So really big deal. I don't think we're going to go down without a fight, and some exciting stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into the overall point of this entire video. So first of all, we saw some indicators that we have never seen during a bull market. Bitcoin dropped over 50% from the all-time high, and then came down, and there was just in a big accumulation zone for about 2.5 months. And the accumulation was very, very healthy by all parties involved. So I'm talking about the different sizes of the wallets. We saw pretty much every size of every wallet was accumulating. The only people that were actually selling were the short-term holders, which is a great sign. You can actually predict the top of the market based on when the long-term holders are selling. So it's an on-chain metric you might want to watch, either on this channel or on CryptoQuant or Glassnode. But that's a huge indicator to when the market is being overheated. So what you got to do is realize, okay, Bitcoin is down still 28.5% from its all-time high, which is just a few months ago. So we're down 28.49%. Now, what you want to do is realize a lot of people only consider, most of the people, at least inside the United States, only look at price in terms of US dollars. What's very, very unique to cryptocurrency is we have so many pairs. And what I mean by pairs is you can pair all these coins against each other. There's a ton of pairs with Bitcoin, with USDC, with USDT, with BUSD. You can trade, Bitcoin against Link, Bitcoin against Sushi, Bitcoin against VET. So you need to look at, like, all these are technically currencies, or they can be used as currencies. So start looking at them like currencies instead of just the assets being different. A lot of people only trade and buy, crypto by using fiat currency. Once you have have accumulated other currencies, you can start to trade them back and forth. And there's certain times when it's an excellent time to use the pairs, trading the pairs of the crypto instead of the pair against the fiat currency. So Bitcoin has, ripped over the past, I think it's been 3 weeks now. So I think we've had 3 straight weekly green candles. Well, let's just look at it here. On the weekly, we are actually at 4, going on 4 weekly candles. So as you just saw, it was down 28%. But then we start to look at other assets, which I already have done an analysis on some of the assets that I think has the most value. And if you look at VET, which is VeChain, this is down 59% still from the all-time high. So it actually may even be 60 because I didn't grab the top of that wick. So, and it's actually just retraced a little bit. So it's down about 60% from the all-time high. Okay, so Bitcoin is technically doing more than double of what VET is based on their previous retracement from the all-time high. So VeChain has still not pumped even close to where Bitcoin, because it had such a volatile move to the downside, and which, one of the best ways to look at possible price predictions is to look at history. And now we have some history, right? Prior to this, we didn't have a lot of before this bull market, we didn't have a lot of history with a lot of these coins. Sushi, same thing, down 51% from the all-time highs. That's pretty considerable. Link is down 50%, which I think a lot of people are sleeping on Link right now. It's actually down further because it's been retracing since I set this a few moments ago. So what you need to say is, okay, well, Link, Sushi, VET, you could do this across the board for whatever assets you actually believe in. You see all these are down 50, 60%. That's a really big deal, right? That's a huge discount that you could buy an asset from. And if you believe that we're going to continue to head in the bull market, which I do, that doesn't mean there's not going to be any corrections, but I do believe we're going to hit higher highs here in, I think the next 6 months, we're going to see Bitcoin above the previous all-time high. Then you may want to look into either pulling cash into the market and investing into other alts that you believe in, or you could say, hey, right, this is Link USD, right? We're denominated in the US dollar currency. Okay, well, now let's denominate Link in BTC. Well, if we look at the high of Link denominated in Bitcoin, we're actually down 66% from the all-time high of Link versus Bitcoin. So we could technically get this at a 50% discount, or we could trade, our Bitcoin for Link and get it at a 66% discount. So believe it or not, there's a lot of people around the world that actually believe in the Bitcoin standard and use it as a standard instead of using the US dollar as a standard. There's a lot of like pure crypto traders that just trade altcoins into Bitcoin, or they'll like have different types of pairs. So this is one valuable thing that you can look at and say, okay, I have a lot of Bitcoin right now. It has pumped pretty tremendously recently. Why don't I look at a pair against another coin that I believe in? And all you're doing is swapping value from one coin that's recently pumped into another coin that is yet to pump. And if you're investing in real value that have a real team behind it, they have strong coin metrics, then it's likely a good idea, because we continually see this, and I could show you on a chart. We used to use this in one of our slide decks for one of our hedge funds. We run a cryptocurrency hedge fund, and we would talk about this seesaw effect that would happen. So like Bitcoin will rise in price, and then all the rest of the market kind of lags behind it. And then like 3 days later or a week later, all the alts start to pump. And then Bitcoin pumps again, and then the alts pump, right? It's kind of like this seesaw effect where you can trade the pairs back and forth to accumulate more Bitcoin. So that is a huge strategy. Let's look at the other pairs. VET against Bitcoin's at a 47% from the all-time high. So that is not quite, in the US dollar terms. So I would rather sell my US dollars into VET than, if I only had Bitcoin and I didn't want to add fiat currency, then I really wouldn't want to. I'd rather add USD and trade because we're down 60% from all-time highs relative to VET denominated in Bitcoin. It's only down 47%, which is still significant. And then same thing with sushi, right? Let's see, it's down 52% relative to, USDT, which is really 1-to-1 on the dollar, which apparently they came out today and actually audited USDT, which has been a big thing that we've been looking into because it presents a huge risk, not to just USDT, but to the overall market. Because if Tether goes down, the whole market's going to go down really hard because it's pretty much all denominated in USDT outside the United States. So in this case as well, sushi BTC, I'd rather trade BTC into sushi right now than USDT because it's down further. So that's how you should also kind of do your analysis, is when you're looking at, prices. Look at other coins that you like. You should have like a portfolio, right, that you believe in. Let's say you have 10, projects in your portfolio. You can always look around. If you don't care about like capital gains tax, you can trade the pairs between each other. That's obviously going to be a capital gain, instead of just continually buying the currency with US dollars without selling. In that case, it wouldn't be a taxable gain, but any type of trading, at least here in the United States, it is a taxable gain. So that is one thing to note. But it's super important to look at, hey, can I get more value out of trading a different pair relative than me just focusing on fiat? Like, you start to adopt this Bitcoin standard mindset instead of just thinking in fiat terminology. So I'll show you exactly what this looks like. Like, we're going to do it right now because I actually do think that Link is a pretty solid trade right now. I think Link is people just have not been pumping it and talking about it recently. And I still feel that they're the strongest oracle in the space. And I think oracles are going to be massive. At least like one or two of them are going to be massive. And Link is by far leading the way. So this is what it would look like. All right. This is just on like Binance US. Okay. We're trading. When you go to the top here, you can select your different pairs, right? This is all USD, right? So we're trading US dollars. This would be starting to trade the stable coins, and then over here, BTC. So we could trade all of these coins into BTC. So if we're buying Link BTC, what we're really doing is we're selling Bitcoin into Link. So if I scroll this, I have a little bit of Bitcoin in this account. Let's say I want to buy, let's buy like 100 Link. So we'll buy 100 Link, and we're going to buy it at 0.0005747 Bitcoin. All right. So that is the current. That's actually not the current going rate. I actually have a lower price right here. So if you guys, this is the order book. So these are all the people selling this pair right now. And these are all the orders that are trying to buy this pair. And you'll see that the numbers get closer and closer as the numbers go up. Here's the last traded price right here. So if I want to actually trade at like right now, I would just click this right here, and that would give me the most up-to-date and lowest price for someone that's actually looking to sell while I'm looking to buy. So let's buy 101 Link. I'll hit buy, and bam, you can see the order was filled because someone submitted a limit sell. So I just sold or bought Link with my Bitcoin. Okay. So it's really that simple. It's just going to the top, switching into a different pair, and then you can trade the pair into whatever coin you believe in. So that's one of the most valuable things to do, and something that we definitely do is we trade the pairs instead of like just thinking about, let's only trade fiat into fiat, right? It's also important to look at these other things as almost like a standard and as a real currency to consider doing that. The next thing I do want to say, which I have not mentioned, I don't think I've really mentioned on a live, but I talk about this a lot in our groups, and this is like super important. A lot of people that are new to cryptocurrency, which pretty much almost everyone is in the last year, people try to overcomplicate things. You do not have to do this type of trading. You do not have to worry about this. I honestly, truly believe the number one strategy for especially people that are new, that have not developed the skill of trading yet, is to simply do what I just did down here, which is literally set these limit orders down here where you look at like certain market structures. So like, let's look at, I don't know, let's look at sushi, because I actually like sushi and I've been buying a lot of it recently. I was buying it at $6, $7, $8, $9. Where the heck is it? It's right here. So, this might be bad because it has, when they list them on exchanges, it kind of screws up the first wick. So in this case, let's not do that. Let's look at like Atom. So one valuable thing is to like look at what price has recently done. And if the market hasn't been super volatile and hasn't like moved to the upside or downside, you can kind of find these channels where it'll come down here, then it'll come back up in this channel, and then it'll come back down, come back up, come back down. And what you can do is just start to set buy limit orders in these different channels. So like if you continually see an asset that you actually believe in, all you do is you just go and set a limit order. I believe I have USD in here as well. So, oh no, I just pretty much, I guess, let's cancel one of these. I'll show you how to do this. So you can see down here, I set limit orders for ADA USD at 122. That one didn't hit. I set it for Solana, which I love Solana. It's at 35.27. So let's just cancel the one at 27 because that's probably not going to go through. All right, so now we have $1,200 in USD that's opened up. So I want to buy, let's say I want to buy Atom at, I mean, if this is still on the channel, I would say, hey, let's set a buy limit order for 10.577. I'll do a more like in-depth analysis on this in a future video. But let's say, hey, we want to buy this asset at 10.55. All you do is you set a limit order, which, by the way, this will lower your fees. If you continually set market orders, you will pay higher fees. So it's best to set limit orders regardless, even if you're getting into the price at its current price. So I would just set a limit order for, let's do 25%, which is, $319. Bam, you hit buy, and you'll see the buy limit order down here. So now when the market comes down, you win because you're lowering your average purchase price. You're buying that asset. And when the market goes back up, you win because you're already in a position and it's appreciating. So that's the best way to play markets, is to literally just look for, channels at which something is trading in. Like with sushi, I was setting buy limit orders here, 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 and all the way down at the bottom of these wicks because I'm like, oh, sushi has hit this wick, it's hit this wick, it's hit this wick, and it's also hit another candle right here. So let's go ahead and set some buy limit orders down here when it was up here, right? So so sushi was up here. I set the buy limit orders. So as it came down, all those filled and then right back up. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can just look at like order history right here, or trade history. So yeah, all of these hit in the last, what is today? Oh, this is all from today. So these are all 8/11. Let's see if we can go back like 3 months. So 8/11, 8/10, all these limit orders hit. 8/9, all these limit orders hit. I had a few sell limit orders, usually because I'm just like trying to get USDC to send into like a leverage trading platform. All these Aave, VET, I was buying it at 9 cents. Solana at $39, sushi at $9, like I was saying. VeChain at 9 cents. ADA at 137. It's now at $1.80. And this is just on 8/5. So this is literally 6 days ago. All these limit orders. So I go ahead, I do a bunch of analysis on the coins I believe in. I find the channels, I set the limit orders, and then I just go out through. I run 2 businesses right now. So I don't have time to just look at charts all day. I set limit orders. The market comes down. I buy assets that I actually believe in, which is awesome. Then the market trends back up. Even better. I just made more money. right? So I really believe this is the best strategy. You do not have to be a trader to do this. You don't have to be a financial analyst. All you need to do is look at, just look at recent trends, or you can just say, hey, if the asset comes down 10%, I'll set a limit order there. You can just do every 10%, you just set limit orders. If it comes down, you buy, great. If not, the market carries back up and you're in a good spot as well. So I really believe this is the best strategy. A lot of people think they have to trade and freak out every time the market pumps. They're like, oh, should I sell this? Should I buy this? Like, no, you should just set buy limit orders and let the market do its thing. And then if you want to start to sell, set target prices to sell. Like I can do the same thing now, right? So like now I have like, okay, let's go to an asset that I actually hold right now. Let's go to like ADA. I actually believe I just sold a little bit of ADA today because it hit my price target of $1.80. So let's say that, okay, I want to sell. I actually believe ADA has a potential to go to $5 this year. So let's say I want to sell it at, $4.95. Okay. So I would just go over here, click sell limit. I would do 4.95, and then I would scroll this over and let's sell like 5%. I would say I want to sell 5%. So I want to sell $6,128 dollars worth of ADA. So I want to sell 1,200 ADA at $4.95. So I'm doing a limit sell, and I'm selling ADA, and now it is a open order. So when ADA actually hits a price of $4.95, it's going to sell 1,200 ADA. So you can do the same thing. Be practical with your price predictions. Say, hey, I think that ADA, based on its current, this is how you really need to do it. It's like, okay, what do I think the overall market cap could go to? I think at maximum we're gonna see 7 trillion. I don't think the whole crypto market cap is gonna exceed gold this year at all. I think the maximum could possibly be 7 trillion. Then you need to look at like market cap. Like ADA has a market cap of 58 billion. So like if it did a 5x right now, right, that would put it at right under like 300 billion. So yeah, I put it at 290 billion. All right. And it's at 179 times 5. So that would put it at $8.95. So if you actually believe that ADA could hit a market cap of $290 billion, which would put it, just below Ethereum, would put it in third place technically, but I'm sure the whole market would be up at that point. Then that would put ADA at $8.95. So you need to be like somewhat practical, like with your predictions. That's why like when people say like Doge to $10, like do you realize what Doge to $10 would be? It's at 26 cents and it's already at 35 billion. Like that would be insane if it had that much growth. So anyways, that is kind of my rant for where we're at. I'll do a market update and some more strategy type stuff here in the future, but started to think that way. Started to kind of think in like a standard of like crypto standards. Like, oh, is this asset in a discount relative to this asset? Okay. And then if you don't want to like trade and stuff, I'm telling you, the best strategy is actually not even trading. You can just set buy limit orders and set sell limit orders and let the market do its thing and stop being all anxious about the market. You don't have to trade. I think, if you want to develop the skill of trading, it's really, really valuable. And another thing that people don't understand is you don't have to use leverage to trade. You can trade without leverage. But I do keep a portion of my portfolio for leverage trading. But the vast majority of my portfolio is this right here. What I just showed you, the buy limit orders, the sell limit orders, that is the secret sauce because you don't risk liquidation. You're not being emotional with the strategy. The more you guys are emotional, the more you guys are going to lose. And you're removing those two things. And volatility to the downside and the upside is good. You win either way. You're buying stuff at an asset or a discount when it comes down, and you're riding it up and having appreciation when it goes up. So, one thing I'll just answer real quick is the Oh, so I think I have a link question, and then do you think a rejection is coming? One thing to note is with Bitcoin, historically, we have seen it pop above the 200 moving average, and then which it just did, right? It just broke the 200 moving average, which was right around like 44,500. We've seen this on pretty much every bear market that Bitcoin has been in, like a longer term bear market, where it pops above the moving average and then it comes way below. So that's just one thing to note. Like, let's just look at the moving average on like a 200 on like a 200. I'm kind of show you what I'm talking about. Oh, nope, that is not correct at all. We're gonna do a. Actually, I may be on the wrong. Yeah, this is on TradingView. I'll do another video on what I actually think the prediction is. But what happens is Bitcoin will come above the 200 moving average for a short period of time and then crash back through. And then we're in like an elongated bear market. So that's the only thing I'm really looking at. The next price target is right at 50K. So I'm looking to see how much volume is going to be moving it to 50K, and just going to keep a close eye on it because I just don't want it to. I don't want this to be a bear trap or a bull trap where we're faked out by a bull trap. So just note that it is almost every single time Bitcoin has been in a bear market, it has actually, I believe every single time it's come right back up above the 200 moving average and then smashed down below. So that's the only thing I am watching. I am not buying more VGX. I'm still holding on to all my VGX though, which has been, I believe it's been moving pretty nice. The reason why I hold VGX is because they, I mean, I think it could do well. It's not even listed on here. Voyager wrapped ether. Okay, that's not even telling me what the current price is. Yeah, I would just hold on to VGX. I'm not buying it. I think it's it's a really small like exchange token, but I'm holding it because I get the 1% boost on like ETH and Bitcoin. So it is definitely valuable to at least have the minimum that they require, which it used to be 20,000, and I think now it's like 2,500. So there's a question about like Link. Freddie, yeah, the minimum is 297, which like we give a course. I do live videos. I do stuff like this. So the EGX I bought, or the APY boost already doubled from a couple weeks ago. That's awesome. Well, mine's down. So I think my average purchase price was like $4.90 or $4.80. And I think VGX, I mean, let's just go look at it real quick. I think VGX is at like $3 or something. So, I mean, I believe in Voyager, but it's like, yeah, they're at 102, 386. Nice. But they got absolutely smashed. I know a lot of people were buying it at $7 and just got killed. Yeah, the all-time high is $7, and it came all the way down to $1.65. So it got absolutely killed. Lucas, I mentioned this. So actually, and I'm gonna do another video about this, but this is actually how you predict the bear market, which no one really talks about. Is these two. I'm not gonna go in depth because I do have to hop off here because I have to eat and coaching. But when this Z-score comes into this red zone, that has predicted the end of the bull market within 2 weeks every single time. Well, this is one of them actually. Even in 2013, we did have like a 70% correction and then a 6-month accumulation zone, similar to what we just had, but obviously this one that we just went through is much shorter. So actually, this one is good, but the one that's even better is this ratio, which it was not faked out by the 2013 like technically bull market and then like a bear with like a 79% drop, and then the rest of the bull continuing into 14. So these are the two indicators that have at least been the most predictive of the end of the bull market, and they have timed it by within a 2 weeks time frame every single time. I guess it's not saying it here. So that, and also I think on-chain metrics are super important. So like understanding, which is also very unique to Bitcoin, is understanding these different on-chain metrics. I think one of the best telltale signs is when not only large wallets are selling. Like I think yeah, so they've been accumulating. I've actually been stagnant. That's the only one that's been stagnant. Look at like over 1,000 BTC. They accumulated a lot. Now they're starting to accumulate. They smashed the market, right? They accumulated a ton. Bitcoin hit an all-time high, and they just started selling off the entire time. We were at like the $50,000 range. So I don't even look at whales. I look at longer-term holders. So if people are once the longer-term holders start to sell, that's a very good sign that you're going to be in the you're going to get the market's likely to drop, because longer term holders understand the market better. And if someone's been holding for that long and they're willing to give up pay capital gains tax, it's likely it's predicted the end of the market almost every single time. So it is really valuable to look at what the longer term holders are doing. So yeah, I do want to. So what I'm trying to do. So no, I'm not buying XLM anymore. I actually made a lot of money on XLM, but I have not gotten back into it. I just looked at it today. It's at like 30 cents. Let me actually just look at it on like a technical standpoint. XLM. Wow. This is down pretty heavy as well. Yeah, this is down 58% as well. But no, I have not bought XLM recently. I do want to do an FTX tutorial, but I'm trying to. I actually just like my FTX account is perfectly fine. I just hit some leverage trades on it, but I'm trying to open up a new one because we have like 200 people trying to get an account, but they increased their KYC because of all the regulation recently. So now you have to use a VPN and use a residential address, and then I use like this app called Phoner that gives me like a Canadian number. So I just submitted for verification on a virtual address, and I'll let you know if that happens. Then I'll likely do it. So yeah, the 297 has got to be in fiat currency. So like, yeah, so we collect all payments through a merchant account. I'm excited to start accepting crypto payments through a merchant. I mean, we'll do that on like higher ticket items, but yeah, low ticket stuff, we don't waste time. Like, it's still kind of a nuisance to accept crypto, to be honest. So we accept fiat through a merchant account. I do like ENJ out of all of the Chili's got absolutely smashed as well. So, but I like ENJ better than Chili's. Mana, don't really have an opinion on it. I think we are going to continue the rest of the bull market. That does not mean we're not going to have corrections. Like, I would not be surprised if we had we're looking at like the weekly here. I would not be surprised if we kind of saw like we see another. I think we're likely to see another correction here soon because we've had 4 weeks of green candles. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another test down to like 42, and then I think we're gonna head back up to above 50. So but yeah, I do think the rest of the year is going to be strong. And if I had to give you an idea, I know pretty much there's only a lot of like crypto people, a lot of just analysts really on any asset. They don't like to give any expectation. I think it's kind of, look, I'm not going to make every price prediction in the world, but I'd like to give my thoughts on what could possibly happen. So I do think the bull market is likely to end towards like the beginning or middle of next year, so into 2022. But yeah, and I do think Bitcoin, and here's another thing, is I do think we are going to continue on this puppy. And if you look at the stock to flow and you look at the previous growth, if we come above the stock to flow, which is just this red line that kind of comes up like almost like a staircase, if we follow this, which Bitcoin on average really has, this has been one of the best predictors of long-term price. Let's say the wick comes above, we're likely to look at, I think it's going to be right around 180, 175 grand a coin. If I had to put a price prediction, I would say 75 grand. And the reason is because if you look at the previous growth, we had a 35x, so a 35x from peak to peak. Then we had a 17x from peak to peak. And then what that is really, hey, we cut the growth in half. So we had a 35x right here. Then we cut the growth in half the next cycle to 17x. And if we cut the growth in half again, we would be at a 9x. And if you 9x Bitcoin at the previous all-time high, we're sitting right at 175K, 180K a coin. So that's also why I think the all-time high is going to be right around 175. Okay, so Luna, yeah, I guess I'll answer the first one. Wait for a dip, or do you think ADA goes past 240 this time? I mean, it's looking really strong. They have a ton of updates coming out. I actually think tomorrow they're coming. Charles Hoskinson is coming out and revealing like when the actual live mainnet is coming out for all these projects to build on top of it. So I think ADA is going to be a powerhouse. To be honest, I would if you have, let's say you have $5,000 that you want to put into ADA. You're like, okay, I just want to put this into ADA. Then what I would do is I would likely put about 2,000 in right now, and then I would set some buy limit orders at like 175, 170, and 165. So if it comes back down, you're buying, and then if it goes back up, you're obviously winning. But either way, you already put $2,000 in it, and at least you're winning. And if it continues higher and it never comes back down, you can just cancel the limit orders and just go buy another asset that still has not pumped like ADA has. So that's exactly what I would do. I sold a little bit of ADA today, like outside of my leverage trade, which I usually just set trailing stop losses on them. But I sold a little bit of ADA, and I'm not selling ADA until the end of this cycle, which again I think is probably in like 7 or 8 months. Best wallets to hold crypto off an exchange. I mean, you could use like a Trezor, I should say, or you could use, go look up air gapped wallets. Like those are the safest to use. So go look up air gapped wallets on Google. Don't buy them off Amazon. Don't buy them off a retailer. You want to buy them actually directly from the company, because what can happen is people can buy these wallets. They take them home. They can tweak them. And then when you go and upload your crypto to the wallet, you're just really giving it to them. So people are getting quite tricky with the hard wallets. So just make sure you buy it from the manufacturer. Yeah, AVAX, I am not holding any longer. We traded the heck out of that because it was at like, this is one of the ones that we traded so much. I don't think it's bad. He's talking about Avalanche right now, which is just another like mainnet coin. But we traded this when it pumped. I was like, holy crap, this has a lot of potential. And then I saw it come back down, and then it just formed into the zone for the longest time. And we just bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold. I mean, I easily made $250,000 from trading AVAX just back and forth on leverage. So, and then we just had it absolutely get smashed. So I think it is, I mean, this one is a little bit weird because this is what happened. If you guys actually remember when this happened, let me turn off Market Cipher. This can be so annoying. Look how like ridiculously down this is. I think it's down. Yeah, it's down 73%. But this is kind of somewhat of an exception because AVAX just got absolutely pumped by all, like, everyone found out about Avalanche at the same exact time, which I hope I didn't just freeze. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Everyone found out about AVAX at the same time, and then once like people really started to figure out about it, all of the crypto like influencers on YouTube just pumped the heck out of it. So we saw price go from like literally what $11 to 60 in like a matter of days. So I don't think it deserved that high of a price, and I think I think like what's more realistic is kind of to do a more of an analysis from like this wick down, just because I know exactly like what happened, which is still down 62%. So, and they do have some projects built on top of it. I don't think it's a bad project, but I just think that there are better. And here's another thing is when like when bear markets happen and there's a lot of volatility to the downside, one of the wisest things to do is to get out of your crap coins and get into real utility, because the projects that have real utility like ADA, I know it hasn't been the mainnet has not been being used a lot, but 70% of the asset is staked. There's a massive army behind it, and there's projects lined up to get on top of the mainnet. So if 70% of the asset is staked, that means people can't sell when it's staked. So I'd much rather, instead of holding, poo-poo coin, I would much rather have some ADA. You know what I'm saying? So like I got rid of, I only held like 8 coins through this like big capitulation we had. Because I got rid of a ton, like I got rid of like 35 crap coins, not even crap coins, just coins I didn't like truly believe in, and I brought it back to 8, and now my portfolio it's sitting cool. So, anyways, I do need to hop off because I need to eat, and then I'm getting on a coaching call. So, hope you guys